specific banks, employees are looking to leave. And
Do you think that insecurity leads to people maybe moving in suboptimal conditions?
ongoing cuts definitely impact employees' morale.
Our next guest today is Rainey Gill, VP of Marketing here at eFinancialCareers. How are you today, Rainey?
I'm very well, thank you for asking.
So we've just spoken to Pete quite a bit about 2024. I was hoping that with you I could talk a bit more in depth about what we've seen in terms of the trends of 2023. To start with, in our bonus expectations report based on our survey, we found that anywhere between 40 and 65% of people at major banks were looking to change jobs in 2024. What sort of pressure does that put on recruiters?
Absolutely, great question. Thank you, Zeno, for asking me. Yeah, so we published our end of year sort of bonus expectation report, and it clearly showed within specific banks, employees are looking to leave, and those banks in particular were sort of HSBC, SocGen and Barclays. And actually the banks where they showed sort of really strong loyalty was Bank of America and JP Morgan. JP Morgan has just won our ideal employer globally, so that could be one of the reasons why employees are less reluctant to move. And actually Bank of America have reported some really phenomenal sales and trading revenue results, the greatest it's been in many years. However, you know, there are distinct reasons why employees are looking to leave, and they include sort of poor bonus, lack of flexibility in terms of being able to work from home, and just sort of limited career opportunities too. And actually our ideal employer, which was recently published, actually highlighted some really sort of important variables that matter to employees. You know, they include sort of well-being initiatives, culture and integrity, compensation, of course, but also the ability to feel like they're bringing their best to work, so having a really strong sense of belonging. The issue you have where employees have so many of their employees wishing to move is that it causes sort of low morale, productivity drops. They're less likely to put their hands up for new projects, and then ultimately it can be really challenging to hire for those niche skills roles.
Thank you for that answer, Rainey. Our report also found that anywhere between 15 and 45% of those same people, those people at major banks, felt insecure about their jobs. Do you think that insecurity leads to people maybe moving in suboptimal conditions, you know, less salary increase than expected, that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You only have to look at the responses we got in our survey. Again, I'm referencing our end of year bonus report. Many of them from Citi. You know, Citi is going through a major restructure, and they're taking out many layers with regards to management. Also, we had respondents from UBS too, who are nervous about what's happening there, and obviously the merger with Credit Suisse too. Ongoing cuts definitely impact employees' morale and their ability to feel secure in their role, which does mean that they will look to move, and they will look to roles not paying what they previously were expecting, such as, you know, those 20-25% salary increases. They're being far more realistic now because they want to move to an environment where they do feel secure.
There was also a really clear divide in our report between people that were early in their career and more experienced. In terms of pretty much everything: bonus expectations, job security, likelihood of looking for a new job, even days in the office. Why do you think there's such a large divide?
Yeah, absolutely. And our survey highlighted that, actually. It was really interesting. It said that actually women are more likely to be looking for a new role in 2024. And actually those based in Hong Kong and Singapore, again, more likely to look for a new role versus those employed in America or Europe too. And there was actually a really strong relationship between age and desire to move, with just 52% of those aged between 20 to 25 looking to move, and that increased to 73% for those that are 50 and over. Ageism is also felt as being something that's contributing to jobs insecurity and their wanting to and their motivation to move, and was named directly from those that responded to our survey based in Hong Kong, in Singapore too.
Thank you very much for that answer, Rainey. The last thing I really wanted to ask you was, how has the hiring process itself changed over the course of the last year?
There have been a number of variables that has changed in 2023, including the time it takes to hire. So we have seen that actually time to hire has increased to between 3 to 5 additional weeks, and there are a number of reasons for that. Candidates working in sales and marketing are more reluctant to leave because if they can hit targets where they're currently being employed, they're going to stick with that in this market climate. Also, sort of hybrid working, it's causing friction. Direct employers want candidates in the office more. They appreciate that face-to-face contact. However, candidates are resistant to working 5 days in person in the office. And actually still finding qualified candidates, especially sort of in tech roles in particular, is proving challenging too. And this is also compounded by the lack of motivation to be in the office. And then finally, growing interview pools, more interview rounds, greater selectivity and understaffing within HR teams is causing everything to move slower. Candidates are no longer receiving those plus 25% salary increases which they did in post-COVID. There is also sort of misalignment with graduates. They're looking for really high salaries with no experience, and direct employers, they just simply don't have the budgets. And also sort of employer brand, it's becoming more critical than ever. And there are a number of initiatives our customers, our clients are using to amplify their employer brand. That includes sort of content marketing, white paper, leadership content, also online advertising, so making their brand visible in all of the communities that really matter to candidates. And also flexible working and a positive culture. They're really sort of highlighting these through company description, company profiles, through their own marketing and branding. And then finally, inclusivity and really robust and meaningful DEI policies and standards are also being amplified and supporting their employer value proposition.
Thank you very much, Rainey, for your time.